This tutorial is part of a YouTube course playlist and a Udemy course. You can access the first phases of this course on YouTube or the whole course at Udemy. Links to both can be found in the video description. I don't have a step-by-step guide on how to install Docker. It is a fairly straightforward process. I have left a document here within our docs folder with some additional support, but you can just simply head over to Google, type in Docker Desktop, and then click on the top link, and it will then provide you a download here. So just be careful to make sure you download the correct version for your particular machine. Once you've downloaded, just go through the process, next. There isn't any necessarily specific settings that you need to worry about. Just install it, maybe restart the machine if required, and then start Docker Desktop. Once you have installed Docker Desktop, that would have installed Docker and Docker Desktop. You can see here in my Docker Desktop, I have a few images already downloaded. On the left-hand side, we have container and images. So those are the two sections really we're concentrating on to begin with. So I can, from here, in actual fact, run. So let's go ahead and run this container here, this adminer container. So this is not necessarily how we're going to be running containers, but this is now a container running. So I can go into the containers tab. I can now see this is running, and it's green, indicating the fact the container is running. It's been running for 7 seconds, how much processing power it's taking, for example. So I can also from here stop and delete the container. So I stop and then delete the container. So that's how potentially we can administrate our containers inside of Docker Desktop, although we will be working from our code base. We can also check to make sure Docker has been installed correctly in the terminal. So if I type in docker version, that should then tell me the version of Docker that I'm using. So don't worry if your version is slightly higher than mine. As of recording, the version I'm using is 2503. Just to make you aware, there is a Docker extension here in Visual Studio Code that you can install. It's fairly popular. It will allow you to manage and perform some of the operations directly here within Visual Studio Code using a UI. So in actual fact, let's go ahead and quickly install. So we have the Docker icon here now, and you can see that we can view the images and any containers that are running. Obviously, at the moment, we don't have any containers running. So let's just bring up Adminer. So I can select Adminer here and remove, it looks like. Looks like it's out of date. So it doesn't look like I've got direct options here to actually running containers, but at least gives me an overview of potentially some additional information which might be useful when developing. I won't be using it in this course, I don't believe, so I'm going to just remove it for now.